Hi everyone, it's Vanessa. Let's do my hair. So it's washed, it's dried. Let me tell you what I put in it. So when I got out of the shower, I sprayed a couple of squirts of the Wizard. And this is from Amika, and it's a detangler, it's a heat protector, it's a primer. It helps your hair dry faster too, so when you blow dry it. So I put about 3 squirts of that in, I combed it through, and then I used my favorite leave-in conditioner. This is Olaplex number 6. It doesn't weigh your hair down, but it helps smooth it, and it protects it, gets rid of some frizz. Love this stuff. So I only need to use like about the size of a pea, okay? And then I blow dried my hair, and I just kind of tipped my head over and blow dried it all over, and then I came back and kind of lifted my roots a little bit with this brush, and I'm going to make sure it's all detangled before I go to the next step. So the next step is I'm going to use this Amika style, the Shield. It's a styling spray. It also protects from heat. It's not that I need extra protection, but it does give me a little hold when I start curling my hair. So I'm just going to kind of get that all over, mostly on the outside of my hair and the ends. I'm not too concerned about up here. Oh, I did use one more thing at my roots. Before I dried it, I used Lanza Bounce Up Spray. It's a really light volumizer. So I did about 4 squirts right in here. All right, so let me get all my stuff out that I used. So I've got that Shield, the Shield texture spray in there, and I'll just brush that through. And then I'm going to use this tool that I found. I thought it was really cool. It's called Volume. It's only meant to create volume at my roots. I mean, I guess you could create volume everywhere, but I'm just going to use it at my roots. And let me show you how I do it. I'm washing my hair maybe every 4 to 5 days, sometimes a little bit longer if I can, but when I style my hair on the first day, it will really last me, and especially this. Like, I never have to touch up with this over the 4 or 5 days. So I've got it set at 305 for me. You might go a little bit higher or a little bit lower, but I rather not do it too hot. So there's a little lock tab on this, so I'm going to unlock that so it opens, and if you see, it kind of looks like a waffle iron. It's kind of cool. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to create volume all up under here, but I don't want to see it when I style it. So depending on where you're going to part your hair, we're going to clip this whole section out because we don't want to crimp anything that we're going to see, because it looks a little crazy. So I'm going to clip this aside, and then I'm also not going to use this tool around my face because I don't want to see any of that crimping either. So I'll just grab a little clip here to get this out of the way. Okay, and then let's start. I don't need as much volume on this side because I've got more hair on this side, so I'll just take one big section and make sure you leave it out around your face. And you're just going to hold it straight up, and you're going to put it in here, and you just hold it for about a second or so. And I like to do like 2 or 3 crimps, and you'll see that it instantly gives you some oomph. You can go back over it if you want. You can take smaller sections for more volume, so that's what I'm going to do on this side. So I'm going to take a little skinny section, make sure I don't get any around my face. I'm going to hold that up, and I'm going to go crimp, or press, I guess. And I usually do 3. I'm going to get that out of the way, and I'm going to do another one. So 1, 2, 3, and 1.5 for good measure. And then you'll see, look at how much volume that gave. But see how you can see that little crimp? So if you get too close to your face, you're going to end up wanting to have to smooth that out later. If I wore my hair straight, I really would just do everything under like that. But I am going to put some curls in my hair. So let's not forget my crown. So I'm going to split this in 2. Because I want to get some volume back here too. See how it does that crimp? It's different than a normal crimper. It's truly like a waffling in it. It's like it created the frizz that I took away earlier, but I need this frizz. This is good frizz. And look at that. It's kind of cool. You can brush through it. It doesn't go away, but it still holds that texture so that you have that oomph. All right. So now that I've done that, maybe I'll do one more back here just to make sure I've got a low enough on my head. Okay. So let's turn this off and lock it into place. And now I'm going to curl my hair. So my curling iron's been heating up already. Let me get this out of the way. All right, so I've got my curling iron. I've got it set to 370. I believe this one goes up to 450. Different temperatures for different irons and different finishes. This is a ceramic finish. So figure out your temperature. Always start lower than you think. But I've got this warmed up. And when I curl, I always make sure this thing's out of the way so it doesn't catch my hair. It doesn't make it as easy to set it on the counter, but I'm not too worried about that right now. All right, here we go. We're just gonna put a few big curls in here. I just kind of want a wave. Now, the bigger the sections you take, the bigger the curls it's gonna create. So this for me is a 1-inch iron. This is kind of my favorite size because I feel like I can do a lot with it. If I want tighter curl, I take smaller sections. So I call this the loop-de-doo. I'm kind of turning it a couple times and then I'm looping it out. And what that does is it creates a twist right here in the middle, creates a little bit different size curl. Here, I'll show you again so you can see it right here. So I'm going to put it in close to my scalp because I want to keep a consistent curl. So I'm going to put it in and then I'm going to do a turn. I'm not turning it all the way to touch my scalp. But then when I have enough of an end, I can kind of loop-de-doo it out. Turn again, loop-de-doo again if you want to. But see how it kind of it's not a perfectly consistent curl. It ends up giving it more of a natural wave. And I just kind of go around my head. Now I'm curling all of these back. You can do forward if you want. You can do one forward, you can do one back, whatever you want. If you do one forward, one back, you're going to get even more of a natural curl look because they're not going to all want to stick together the same. This takes a little bit of practice, but one of the big tips I can tell you, keep the tip of the curling iron pointed towards the ceiling. Even if you're using a wand, you're going to want to make sure you're pointing towards this. Well, maybe not with the wand. Anything that has a clamp, you're going to want to point to the ceiling because that stops it from falling out. Because if I put it in this way, for instance, and I did it every time I turn, it's just going to slide out. And that's awkward. And it's more work. So let's put that in there. Do a turn. And then I can kind of loop-de-doo it out. Keep kind of just tapping on the handle until the hair kind of works through the iron like that. And I think we'll do 2 more right here. And I still haven't touched that piece that I clipped aside. We'll do that last. If you're not sure about this loop-de-doo thing, I would say practice with it on very low or even off, just so you can get the motion down. Because if you hold it in place too long, I don't want you to start damaging your hair. We've put all those protectants on there, but oops. All right, let's go back over that piece. Okay, I'm gonna loop-de-doo out. So yeah, that's my name for this, the loop-de-doo. And then this piece, I'm just gonna give a little bit of a bend. All right, let's do this chunk, and I'll do that chunk after too. Okay, so this is where I still want some lift here. I can even grab a little bit more of this section. And get that closer in the root so I can create the lift straight up. And then if you want a loop-de-doo, you can do that here, or you can just keep curling it normal. I'm just gonna curl it normal. And then I kind of take an off part here so it doesn't make it super straight. Now, if you get something too curly, right after you curl it, run your fingers through it before it cools off and it'll loosen the curl. I don't like touching them right after I've done it because I want it to cool and set in there. It's almost like that cool button on your blow dryer. If you don't know what that's for, it's to set it in place. So I don't run my fingers through the hair until it's completely cooled. Otherwise I'll pull that curl out quicker. Okay, the one around my face I don't like to do quite as tight. Okay, so there's that. Now I like to take a little bit of hairspray to set it in more. I don't use a lot of hairspray, but I am going to take a little bit. This is Spray and Stay by Big Sexy. And I'm just going to kind of do a couple of squirts on the outer edge of my hair. And when my hair's all cooled off, I'm just going to put my hands in at my scalp and spread your fingers out and just kind of tousle it a little bit. And you can tease some more at your root if you want to, but that texture that we added with the volume tool gives you that extra oomph and a tease. So there's that, and you can just kind of adjust it where you like it. I do like to add a little extra tease right here in the crown. But what's cool about that texture that we added is it makes it tease really, really easily. So before I drop this, I like to put a little squirt of hairspray behind it. And then I lightly, very lightly comb over the top because I want that to be smooth. I don't want to see any tease there. And let's just tease this one little piece too. Just really lightly smooth it on the top layer. And then one last finishing squirt. And you can kind of grab pieces and twist them a little bit with your finger to pump them up. And then I'm going to check out the back. If I've got any flat pieces or straight pieces, I can either twist them with my finger or just recurl that piece a little bit. So I think I will recurl this piece right here. I feel like whenever I do have to recurl it, that's about the only place that it happens, is that hair that was on the crown. But there we go. That's it. I'll post everything that I used, Makeup by Mascara, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day.